Greetings, New Zealand naturopath Eric Bakker, author of Candida Crusher and formulator of the CanXida dietary supplements for yeast infection. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. Another case presentation. This is a lady in her late 50s who, along with her husband, they run a dairy farm here in New Zealand. So dairy farms are quite big in New Zealand. We've got very, very good rainfall in many parts of the country. We've got beautiful lush pastures. We've got lovely Frisian cows and Jersey cows. New Zealand's known for its fantastic beef production and particularly for its milk production, very, very big. So I tend to see a lot of farmers. I see sheep farmers and beef farmers quite a bit. It's not hard, wherever you are, to have people around you that they're involved in agriculture and farming. So this is a lady called Maryanne, and when Maryanne came to see me, I was shocked and horrified to see these feet. I mean, it looked almost like something out of, one of these Peter Jackson films. She looked like an ogre. She looked like something out of Lord of the Rings. Have you seen Lord of the Rings? Everyone associates Lord of the Rings with New Zealand. Or The Hobbit, these creatures with these weird malformed faces. Well, this woman's feet look gross. They look absolutely terrible. I didn't take photos of her feet, and in fact I don't take pictures of a lot of people because I don't like it for privacy reasons. I don't really do those kind of things for people. I don't like inflicting that on people. I find that people get quite humiliated and embarrassed. But this lady's feet were hideous. I don't think I've ever seen feet as badly affected with fungus as I have Maryanne's feet. And the primary reason was that she worked long hours with her feet in rubber boots. She had these white rubber boots and socks. So socks and rubber boots, they'd be on from early morning. She'd take them off briefly for some food in the middle of the day, and she'd wear them all afternoon, and even the early evening, when she'd be milking the cows. I think the cows are milked like twice a day, so these boots are on like long time. And of course, her feet got hot and sweaty. She was eating copious amounts of white bread. She was drinking wine. She was eating all the wrong kind of foods. And also she's living in a high stress environment, because these people have got, like $1 million plus debt on the dairy farm, like this massive debt. And the problem with dairy in this country is that the payouts for the milk solids or the beef can fluctuate from, low to very high. So there's a lot of anxiety for these people. They're relying on corporate companies to pay them out good return on their product. They're relying on the weather, which is crapping out on them all the time. They're working in long hours, high-stress environments. So their coping mechanism for people like Maryanne and David, her husband, is to drink alcohol. It's not a good idea. So I had a long discussion with Maryanne regarding how her lifestyle was contributing to her condition, but also her diet in particular. She needed to make changes. Her feet were at the point where she couldn't really walk much anymore. They were just bleeding and painful. In fact, the skin under the heels was just about falling off. It was cracked. It looked terrible. It was absolutely awful, disgusting to see how much pain this poor woman was in and how disgusting the feet were. So the first thing I did really was to try and get her out of the gumboots, or the Wellingtons, I think we call them in England, rubber boots, was to look at a different kind of a footwear for her. So we moved to things called Crocs, or like sort of rubberized shoes with openings in the front, which still offer her some protection, but they were much more open, and to throw the socks away. I told her I didn't want any socks until I got a really good heel, a really good cleansing effect of the skin and the regeneration. So it was quite difficult to get her not to wear socks, because she had the feet that would be cold at times, which I found out where her thyroid was playing up, so we had to address that as a separate issue. So it wasn't that difficult in getting her to understand that the diet needed changing. So we made several diet changes. She followed my Candida Crusher principles to a big degree. We got her also to take my antifungal supplement CanXida, and she took that for about 6 months. So it took a long time really for me to get her gut right, to get rid of the bloating and the gas. She had large amounts of gas. Lots of gas, lots of bloating. She had skin itches, she had itchy scalp. So I think she also had some patches of psoriasis around her body. So this continually working on different things. Every time she would come in, it'd be a bit more on a diet, and other times she'd come in and work on a lifestyle. And then David would come in and we'd discuss how they needed to really get their son on board with the dairy farm, because they were getting a little bit older now. They needed to get someone on board to help them out. So they really understood the link between stress and poor immunity. And it started to really click after several months of seeing them. And what I can tell you is it took a long time to get this lady's feet right, but they look really good now, and it's incredible how they've improved. She's no longer got pain, the fungal toenails are gone, there's small cracking here or there, but it's nothing like it was. The bleeding's finished, all that painful oozing, that's all finished now. And it's fantastic to see that. She's also lost weight, digestive system's cleared up, and she looks so much better, and she's so much happier. So it was a fantastic outcome for Maryanne. So if you're a person with fungal feet and you're working in a condition like a factory or a process worker or a dairy farm or something like that, you need to understand you can't keep your feet for prolonged periods of time in these hot, humid, wet environments. And particularly when you get a problem, you can't drink alcohol and have lots of refined carbohydrates. You're going to make a real mess out of yourself. And then even to top it off, Maryanne was going to the doctor and then getting antifungal creams like Lamisil, then it would heal for a while and then it would not heal for a while. It would come back. So she couldn't nail the nail infection, pardon the pun. She couldn't nail that in particular. That was just there the whole time. Tea tree oil really worked. But the breakthrough is when we worked with the CanXida antifungal product, it's CanXida. When I worked with that product, which I developed on her gut, quite powerfully, and at the same time removed the alcohol and the primary causes from the diet, that's when we started to get the breakthrough. And the lifestyle changes made it even better when we got better foot. She looked after her feet to a higher degree. We got a fantastic breakthrough then. And now the woman's at the point where she's almost recovered. We're talking a lady who almost required foot surgery because the feet were so bad. And we've got a completely different ball game. She still wears gumboots. I've got her to get. She's got 3 pairs now of these rubber boots. She rotates them. She'll put tea tree oil in them at times, to every now and then. And she won't wear the same boots every day, which is a good thing to do. The other tip I got her to do is to soak the boots in ocean water, in salt water, every couple of weeks. Let them hang them upside down. Let them dry right out. Put them near the fireplace, and the end result's been fantastic. So I hope that gives you a couple of little hints and tips on fungal feet. I might do some more videos in this area because it's quite an important thing to teach you a lot more about. Thanks for checking in my video today.